Just thinking.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the shop. Sorry about the delay. We got had a technical malfunction here. We got a little bit of a new setup here that we're still learning how to use. So welcome to the next live stream. Today we're going to be working on the Sidewinder X1. It needs a new mainboard, it needs new motor couplers, and I printed some better bearing supports for the top here for my ball screw lead screws that I've had on the machine for quite a while, just making a few changes. Main reason for replacing the mainboard is I took the old one out and used it for testing on my Core XY machine before I got a mainboard for it, and it decided to barbecue on me. Probably my fault. I'm pretty sure I screwed something up. So I have a brand new Big Tree Tech SKR 1.4 turbo to go in it. Luckily, these are still available on Amazon, surprisingly, because they were gone for a while. So I had the 1.4 turbo in this, and now I'm switching over to here. So my producer wife, say hi.
Hi.
She walked away briefly. So we're going to be playing with two cameras here and hopefully make this work right and give you guys a good stream. Thank you for being patient. Again, sorry. Let's get into this. I think the first step is going to be to open this thing up. Where is my producer to switch cameras for me?
Coming.
Coming, she says. Alrighty then. So, all right. As usual, we get ourselves a little rubber ducky. This one's gone all flat. That's not very nice. And a fresh motherboard here. Put these aside. And let's see. Oh, that would happen. Also, comment, ask questions. She'll relay them to me as necessary.
Glenn says Happy New Year and hello, producer wife.
Hello, Glenn. Happy New Year to you. All right. And producer wife, you could switch around the cameras as you see fit. You are the editor now.
I like the way Jerry thinks. Jerry says easy on the help. She knows where you live.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So first step is to get this thing ready by popping out some jumpers here. They stick in. Oh, and I forgot which one is the UART one. I believe it's the second one up. I guess I could have done this before, but what's the fun in that? So configuring these things, you got to configure it specifically for the type of stepper drivers that you use. Since I'm using all TMC drivers, or traumatic, whatever you call them, they run in what's called UART mode, which I don't know what that stands for, but basically it lets the firmware control what's going on with voltages and current instead of having to adjust it manually, which I like. Oh my goodness, these things are really stuck in there. And I do need to find my old board and make sure that I got these jumpers in the right spot.
Oof.
What?
We are experiencing a little bit of internet lag.
Oh no. That would happen today, wouldn't it? What's it saying?
It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. So we apologize if you experience our buffering.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what's going on with our internet today. It's been acting up.
And Nicholas Clark says 48 volt on the Sidewinder X1 with crying laughing faces.
48 volts. It'd be cool if you could run them at 48 volts. I don't know if the NEMA 17s could handle 48 volts. I think they would. I think these little stepper motors would let out the magic smoke at 48 volts.
Well, 48V, I'm assuming the V is volts.
Yeah.
So that's my own.
Yeah. Now I was joking around with a friend at work about using some NEMA 23s for like a Core XY machine and 48 volts and just really sling that thing around. You could get some speed that way. These jumpers are in here.
It looks like Monte and Jerry both let us know that everything looks good on their side, so apparently the internet is not too bad.
Oh, that's good. That's promising. Okay, actually, where is my old one? Oh, it's in my box downstairs. Well, yeah, run and go grab it. It's in my desk. It's in the SKR3 box. Sorry, everyone. I was trying to be more prepared. What camera are we on? Camera 1. I was trying to be, no, we're on camera 2. I was trying to be more prepared, but ran late and forgot something downstairs. So my producer wife is going to get it. Mainly the jumper configuration for UART mode on this. I've forgotten it. While we wait, I have my new 3D printed bearing brackets, whatever you want to call them. Perfect, nice, snug fit. And the firmware I will be putting on it. Yes, honey?
Desk is a zone of curiosity. I don't.
So if you look where the PC is on the left, kind of look up, there's a little box that says SKR3. So you can go to camera 1 if you'd like. Hey, we're back to camera 1. Alrighty then, one of the reasons why, well, obviously the reason why I'm replacing the main board is because I burned up the other one. But another thing is the firmware I'm going to be putting on it is going to be Marlin 2.1.2 with input shaping enabled. I've been experimenting with it, tuning it on my Core XY machine and getting pretty dang good results, being that it's Marlin's first implementation of the feature. So on a Cartesian machine, I could see it being very helpful because especially a heavy glass bed with the magnet and the steel sheet on there, that's a lot of weight, and I had to turn my accelerations down to like 400 to get decent prints out of the thing. So hopefully with input shaping tuned, I can get like maybe 800, maybe 1,000. That would be pretty good on this machine. I'm also in the process of setting it up on my Sidewinder X2, and I will do a whole video about that and have instructions on my website and the whole shebang. Just throw it, it's already broken. Oh, I didn't sports. All right. Yep, I got them in the right spot, I think. Yep, okay, let's put some drivers in this. So I have a variety of stepper drivers. Yes. Someone making funny comments.
No, just out of shape when I'm downstairs.
Oh, okay. So.
Way to put me on the spot.
Right. For my X and Y axes, I have TMC 2225s. This is the variety show here. For the Z axes, I have TMC 2100s. And for the extruder, I have a TMC 2209. I used to have the X and Y with 2209s, but I use those in the Core XY machine. They're a little bit more suited for the speed that thing can run. The 2225s will be more than adequate for a machine like this. So that is that. Make sure our voltage jumper's in the right spot. Let's put this sucker in.
Glenn says that our audio is a little bit out of sync.
Really?
Let's see. We have Monte who's going to ask us some questions outside of the board when they get a second.
Yeah.
Rich says, Happy New Year. Thanks for all you do for all your Sidewinders, for all the Sidewinder owners out there.
You are very welcome. Happy New Year to you all.
And we have Nicholas who says, on their Sidewinder X1, can I do 2300 millimeters per second squared on my Sidewinder 1 with Clipper MZV input shaper? I've had to upgrade the stock motor as it's a Gutless Wonder.
Yeah, 2300 is pretty fast. That's really good. I don't know if I can get there with Marlin, but hey, maybe. Like I said, if I can get back to 800 on this machine, I'd be pretty happy. I've had to go down to 400. So on my Core XY, I'm doing 3000 millimeters per second squared, and it's doing pretty dang good. Oh, all right. Where am I? I gotta flip this thing over here. Oh, that's healthy for it. Oof. Yep. Okay. Oh, hopefully that didn't smash that in-stop too bad.
That's what the foam is for, right?
Huh?
That's what the foam is for, right?
Yeah, well, it smashed against the actual little in switch, little plastic case on it, so hopefully that still works. Oops. So let's get a screw in this thing. And that camera angle, actually, looks like I got the camera angle pretty good for this. Oh boy, this is fun. And I apologize if you just see the back of my head. I'm going to attempt to get the screw lined up, and I can't see nothing.
Nicholas says 400 is painfully slow. Oh my.
Oh.
On my Voron 2.4, I can run 5K at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Voron. That makes sense. I would love to get a Voron. Man, that'd be fun. But yeah, 400 is rather slow. And I print relatively slow too. Like my max speed of 60 millimeters a second, but like my outer wall is at 30, my inner wall is at 40. So things print slow on it, but it's one of my best printing machines. It prints very well at slow speeds, and I've got the linear rails and the Hemera extruder, so it does well. Okay. But one reason why I got the Core XY is I wanted something to go a little faster and still maintain a little bit of quality. I am missing a couple of screws. Well, I have a screw box somewhere.
While you're looking, Rich says, I'm about to install a BL Touch on my X1 with your board. Got the kit from EP3D Tie.
Oh, cool.
And was wondering if the TFT firmware you made for it works with the newer TFT with the 305 chipset.
I think it does. When I was testing, I was doing some tests on this one with the Sidewinder X2 TFT firmware, and I believe all the newer generation artillery printers have the new TFT. So I think it does. If it doesn't, let me know, because I could set you up with the older version because I still have it saved. So hopefully that screw is not too long. Where do my little short screws go?
Toy says, equals, you just want another toy to tinker with. Too true, Glenn. Too true.
Yeah.
Any excuse he can get.
Of course. I mean, Artillery's making a Core XY machine that they're releasing sometime in the spring, is tentatively rumored. I'm hoping to get my hands on one early. Boy, I can't win today. Actually, you know what? What am I doing? I have these 2 screws here from the old USB holders.
Oh, we have a 2-part question from Monty. He says, I have your BL Touch upgrade board. I recently discovered that I cannot use the pause and resume code with Cura for changing filament covers. It pauses, but when I resume, it never resumes.
Right. This is a known issue. This is something that I've been working with on it for a while, and I will probably have to update the version of Marlin. I've done everything right in Marlin for how it's supposed to work, and it fails to compile correctly. It's giving me errors about the pause feature, and I know I have it set up correct because in newer versions of Marlin, I have it set up exactly the same and it works just fine. So I'll have to eventually here soon update that firmware to a newer version of Marlin that is less buggy with that feature. I will let you all know when that happens. I've been spending so many hours in Marlin the last few weeks, so I've learned quite a bit more about it. And there's things about it that I wish were better, but hey, they're improving it slowly.
All right, so part 2.
Part 2.
I don't think my mic is working over here.
Your mic's not working?
I don't think it is. That's okay. Part 2, Monty says, I finished, I first tried with Octoprint, then with Thumb Drive. Same behavior. Any ideas? It used to work great before the upgrade.
Like I said, it's part of Marlin. So before you updated it, the machine was running Marlin version 1. And so in that, the pause features are a little different. With Marlin 2, it's something about that specific build of Marlin that I used for it. It won't compile with the pause feature enabled, even though on different machines it does, and in newer versions it does. So on the 32-bit boards, that exact version of Marlin will compile just fine. I think it's some limitation of that specific build with the 8-bit board that comes in the machine. I have that board in an Ender 3, and I've been working on doing tests on it to get it working correctly. It's been a long time, and people have been asking about it, and I've been saying, hey, I'm going to get it done, but I haven't had that board in a machine in almost a year. So now I have it in a machine that I could experiment with. So I will be working on that. I don't know what camera I'm on here. I'm staring over there. I'll be working on it here as soon as I can. I'm very sorry for the delay on that because I got a lot of people with that firmware that are, hey, where's my pause feature
They say,
at?
thank you for that. I really need that feature. Please let us know. Thanks.
All right, so where was I?
Back over. Sounds like my mic is working awesome. Thank you all for letting me know.
Y. Z. E.
Rich says, who got your board from EP3D Ty, says, awesome. Thanks for the answer. I'll be doing the upgrade this week and we'll let you know how it works. Let us know if you have any questions.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. X, Y. I don't have a Z one, so I'm gonna have to look in here and read these. Forget exactly where these go.
Nicholas says, I like the Sidewinder and it's a switch wire. I can print really well while retaining quality, but the short 40/40 extrusions are horrible for Z-axis rigidity. Yes,
so what camera are we on? We're on 2. So this here is a nice hunk of aluminum that I've machined out in my little garage machine shop, and that helped significantly. I still haven't finished the other side. That was actually one of my earliest videos that kind of helped my channel gain some popularity, and it's just been hard to get in there to finish it. But I do have 3D printable versions on my website that work pretty darn good. And on the other side, I have a 3D printed one that's been doing fine since I put it on. So partially why I've been lazy with not finishing the other one. All right, so let's look on here. We have thermistor 0 and thermistor boards. So this is...
While you're looking, we have B-Roll who says hi from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Oh, hi from Calgary, huh? Hello, sir. welcome to the stream. It must be cold in Calgary right now. My goodness. Oof. I couldn't imagine. All right. Thermistor 0. I believe that would be the hot end.
We're gonna have to be able to multitask today because we got questions coming in. We got a really interactive crowd today, which is awesome.
Excellent. I tried to kind of advertise the snot out of it, and then B, which I believe, yep, okay.
All right, so Nicholas says, I'm in the process of doing a Trident switchwire boxed 3030 frame and 3 bed motors for more speed.
Holy cow. Well, it's going to be rigid, that's for sure. And then 3 bed motors. It's how much current do you need to run to get 3 bed motors to move like that? I'd be curious. And then what kind of mainboard are you going to use to be able to run three motors on one axis, or do you just splice the wires? All right, now the fun part.
We have a response from our Calgary. It's -9C. Says this is warm. Haha.
Oh, -9. Hey, Celsius, I told you it wasn't fake news. It's a little inside joke. My sister lives in Florida, and she complains that it got kind of cold down in the 30s where she lives. I'm like, Celsius? And my producer wife said, that's Celsius, that's fake news.
It is fake news.
It is, right? All right. Oh, I need my tweezers. I promise this is the longest part, getting this in here, and hopefully getting it in here correct. All righty then. And I'm pretty sure, yep, I'm blocking the view.
You're fine. Well, now you are.
Yeah,
well, now you're
right.
not.
Oh, I gotta see. I see. Keep forgetting I have an example here to show me what's what. Okay. Minus, plus, plus, minus. Okay.
Someone asks, did we all have a good New Year?
We did have a good New Year. It warmed up on us, which is nice. Kind of a mild weather. Oh, I cannot see what I'm doing. I guess I could have put these in before putting the board in.
Yeah, Nicholas responds, just 24. My SKR3 Easy can do 48, so that might be in the cards.
Oh, yes, the Easy boards, they have that feature. You could plug 48 volts into them.
Because I have a canvas for tool heads, so it gives me 3 free drivers, 1 for each bed motor. I can totally send you assembly screenshots.
That would be really cool. You could email those to me at etherealproject3d@gmail.com.
You might need to turn that a little bit this way.
This way?
Mm-hmm. Because you put your hand there and it just...
Oh, it like blocks, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting these wires in here. I can't see. Where's my phone? I can't see. I need light in there. Oh, right here. All right. Now my head's probably in the way again.
Yeah, and the other camera, your phone's in the way.
All right, here we go. So we'll get the fan in here. So these are the trickiest ones to get in and get in there right. Luckily, they have a little bit of memory to them, the wires do. So I know, I'm blocking.
We've B-Roll who says, I have a growing pile of parts for my X1 MKS Ramen Nano V3.1, TMC 2209 V4,
Ooh.
large DD extruder, and a OMG hot end. OMG hot end, I love that.
An OMG hot end.
Oh, and the MKX 3.5 screen. I'm a high level quadriplegic with no hand function, part 1.
Oh, wow. Well,
Part 2. Oh, perfect timing. That came in right as I finished part 1. So part 2, I'm trying to replace the known problems for the parts so that I can have a nice revaluable printer. I also have a G10 build plate to try. I'm thinking about having a carbon fiber build plate framework.
oh, that would be nice and lightweight, that's for sure. That would be really cool. I when you build that, send pictures. That'd be really cool. I want to see that. It's kind of nice seeing people doing like custom projects. That's totally different than what what has been mainstream for the last seemingly 5 years. I have some extra extrusions that I bought last year that I want to put on this to make the frame more rigid, but it's going to take some machine shop time and a lot of work. And I want to videotape the process. And typically during the winter, I don't quite have as much time just because it's so cold in my garage where my shop is.
Coming from Calgary, Alberta, that's -9 degrees Celsius. I
You know,
don't think you can say your shop is cold.
It's you know, it's all about acclimation. You know? So here, when it gets down to 30s in the shop, that's cold. You know, in the 30s Fahrenheit. So like, I don't know, 3 to 5 degrees Celsius.
So that's what makes Celsius fake news, because 3 to 5 degrees Celsius to 9 degrees Celsius. If you're talking Fahrenheit, that's not a huge difference, but Celsius, that's a big difference.
A -9, yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah, okay. Now let's see if I can get these in here. Make sure I get these right. This is the power. No, that's the heat bed. So plus will be at the... Oh, boy. Minus, plus, plus, minus. Okay, so these have got to flip and go in. Sorry about blocking, but I got to be able to get my hands in here to see and feel what I'm doing. And that looks about correct. Follow that. The one downside to having your wire management done so immaculately is it can be kind of hard to trace a wire if you need to make sure you got it going, you know, you're finding the correct wire. Where are you? It's not that one. Oh boy.
All right, so Nicholas says, the one who's doing, who has the SKR3 Easy, says that they're in the process of catting it still. They have to modify all the boron trident skirts to fit the custom frame.
Nice. What are you using for CAD, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, and the second one is...
While we wait for the chat to catch up, B-roll says less mass for the carbon fiber build. Says less mass means less shock induced into the print. Do you think a carbon fiber build plate would work?
It depends on how much heat you're trying to put into it. I don't know. I imagine if you had some amalgamation of carbon fiber, because you got carbon brakes and stuff like that in race cars and airplanes and whatnot. So I imagine you could probably get it to work. I don't know what the thermal expansion is on it. I wouldn't expect it to be very high. Could work. It'd be interesting to see if like PLA or whatever, what material you're printing sticks to it good enough, or if it sticks to it too good and ends up taking some of the layers off, starts delaminating it, Oh, so close, almost there. Why is this being so difficult today? I can't see a thing.
We can't see a thing either. It's all good.
Oh boy. Oh, I missed something there. Okay, those are in. That is not. Oh, these are a pain. Ha.
Nicholas says he's using SolidWorks for the assembly.
Perfect.
My own stuff for Fusion to modify the Voron stuff. I get SolidWorks free through school.
Oh, very good. Very good. I'm a SolidWorks user myself. And actually, what they've done in the last couple of years is they offer a maker's version for $100 a year. And it's SolidWorks Professional, and all it does is it just watermarks your files, and you can't install third-party plugins, and that's the only limitation of it. So it's quite good for the money. I think it's a very good positive step for the company that makes it, because Fusion is like king in the maker space, and in my opinion, not nearly as capable as SolidWorks. But I also started learning that stuff before Fusion existed, so it could be part of my own bias.
I'm trying really hard to give a camera angle that's not the back of your head. But
Sorry,
you
I'm
keep
sorry.
shoving your head right, and then now your phone, like, oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry. Well, these wires like got short on me, and then I'm trying to reach, and I can't see. Yeah, I know. I think. Okay.
Nicholas is responding to B-roll saying, I would worry about the carbon bed bowing through the thermal expansion. You would certainly have to run a bed mesh when you do the CF bed plate.
Oh yeah.
I don't think the thermal conductivity of CF is good either.
No, the thermal conductivity is definitely really bad. That's why they use it for race car brakes and airplane brakes, because it's very thermally non-conductive. Yep, and I completely missed. One day I will get power connected to this thing. And what is going on? Why is it not? All right, you're gonna hit the back of my head for just another minute. There we go. These wires are fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. There we go. There's the positive.
So we've got a conversation going on here, which is awesome.
Good.
Just to let you know the conversation going on. So B-roll responds, PVA glue would reduce the chances of the print ripping off the build plate. It's funny, I use a product that reduces skin from being damaged from bandages, just like PVA does for build plate.
Huh.
And Nicholas says, I would use carbon fiber for the bed mount, but not for the bed.
Right. A piece of like cast aluminum, I would think would be the best bet for the actual heated bed portion. All right, I think I'm there, everybody. So sorry that took so long. My goodness.
Oh.
Yep.
Right as I switch cameras, you shove your
Sorry.
head in there.
Yeah, I'm just getting these tight. These are good. Okay. All righty then. Now, light's still on there. I've already got firmware compiled for it. So all I need is a plug. And a thumb drive. So I'm not sure what direction those 2225s go. So I compiled the firmware twice, one with the direction one way and one with the direction the other. And we'll see what happens. And there we go. And here goes nothing. Hopefully this board is good.
We're going to flip her back this way so we can see it. Oh, it's fantasticness.
Oh, I did not plug in the screen. We will give the board about 30 seconds to update. But the probe did its thing correctly, so I'm going to assume that the board itself is mostly good. And actually, I'll gingerly tip it over here and get the screen plugged in. Oh, it's a solid state relay. Okay. You plug in here. That relay sounds terrible. Is it getting hot? It shouldn't be heating up. Let's see, you failed to handle bed leveling. Yeah, why is it heating up on me? So we're not reading our thermistors, it looks like. Maybe. Huh.
B-roll says carbon fiber is very stable with temp changes. It's one of the most stable products with heat.
Well,
And asked, what board did you just install?
a Big Tree Tech SKR 1.4 turbo. But when I turned it on, it started heating up the build plate. And it shouldn't have done that. And it's not reading my thermistor. So I have something plugged in wrong. Yay. Oh, what did I do wrong here? Oh, you know what? I bet I crossed the positive wire for the heated bed with the just the DC power. Well, no, but the whole thing powers up. I don't know. We'll look. Yeah, I'm gonna have to trace these out. I'm sorry, everyone. I was hoping to have this part done quick and get on to the really fun bits, because I'm sure we're really quickly running out of time here.
So design it, build it, repair it. It says, yeah, mine's pretty heavily modified. I got rid of the ribbon cable entirely due to many failures, even replacing the connectors, but mine's first generation. And it says, but the linear rails don't fix my printer.
Oof.
Didn't fix my printer.
Yeah, I don't know how long the first generation machines were around. Not very long, because they went to the V4s like almost instantly. So good thing they figured that out quickly. All right, let's trace these out. Make sure I got these going to the right spot. This negative goes to, oh, let's see. We got power in.
And it also says, never works out when you go live.
Never works out when you go live. Okay, yeah, so I had that wrong. What the? Hey now. Now my meter's giving me problems. Come on now. There we go. All right, that's our negative. That's our power in. Okay, yeah, I had them backwards. No wonder it was heating up almost immediately. And no wonder those wires seem short, because, you know, they were supposed to go the other way around. And negative. Come on. Back to the phone.
Design it, build it, repair it. It says running Clipper now.
Oh man, so I would love to be able to do Clipper on a machine, but Raspberry Pis are getting expensive and they're hard to find. Which is one reason why I'm very excited for input shaping being implemented in Marlin firmware. Although it's not as robust as the Clipper implementation of it. Where'd my screwdriver go? Right there. As far as like tuning is definitely much more hands-on and manual. But I'll make sure I got these right now too. Okay, I got positive up top. No, that would have been bad. What am I doing here? I'm so glad I checked that. What in the... Get in there, you. Okay. Yeah. Although what's really confusing about with the SKR3 board that I have in my SP5 over there is it says it could run Clipper, Marlin, and RipRap. So is it supposed to be able to run Clipper natively? I don't know. In their documentation, as far as their instruction manual goes, for setting up Clipper, they say to get, they don't specifically say to get a Pi, but they say to get the Pi emulator or something like that. So I don't know if the board is supposed to emulate a Raspberry Pi. I know it's fast enough. It's like 430 something megahertz or something like that for the microcontroller on it. It's really fast for a, you know, a 3D printer. So, and we're gonna double check these. Negative. Let go. All right, positive. That is correct. And make sure negative on top, positive, yep. So there's no decent information about how Clipper is supposed to run on that. So if it could be run natively without a Raspberry Pi, that is a huge thing, but I don't think that's the case, so.
Nicholas says you can use an old machine, install Fork and Debian, and I have no idea what that is. K-A-I-U-H, to install all the clipper stuff. I think Nicholas is trying to see if I can pronounce all these words.
K-A-I-U-H.
K-A-I-U-H.
I don't know.
It says you need a separate computer to host the clipper, and it uses the controller board as a hub to control the motors and heaters.
Okay, so you just plug in a laptop and run essentially like a Linux setup. Okay, I've done that wrong again. Why is this kicking my rear so bad?
B-roll says, why don't you try some of the other boards like Orange Pi and similar? You can get one for less than $100. I read a good review on them and don't know why everyone is stuck with the Raspberry Pi.
I've never heard of an Orange Pi. That's probably why. I mean, there's
I do not like green eggs and ham.
I do not like green eggs and ham, right? Yeah. Oh, come on. These little terminals are just an absolute nightmare when you can't see or reach. Open them up all the way. Oh, come on. There we go. I think that one's in. Okay. Now I can get my finger in here and get that one.
We might have to take that suggestion and check out the Orange Pi.
Yes. All right. Now we're in like Flynn, I hope. Put this stuff out of the way. Okay. Now hopefully that didn't totally fry it. I don't think it did. Yep, no more noise. Hey. All right, and we're seeing everything. Let's see if she moves. Actually, wait. Before that, I have an update to my screen I want to do as well.
So Nicholas says, yep, I second that. Raspberry Pi has main sales IS support and out of box. That's why I think people prefer it. And some of the Clipper add-ons were developed for Raspberry Pi.
Oh, so
I guess it's kind of industry standard.
Yeah, it makes sense. It was kind of the first, from what I know of, the first controller to be used with Clipper, so I could see the folks at Clipper wanting to make it integral to the Pi environment. So, but like with the Orange Pi, I could see that more and more folks out there coming up with clones that are essentially the same thing or close enough. 6 minutes? Seriously, it's been almost an hour already? Holy cow.
B-roll says we're a similar generation, but I love green eggs and ham.
Right. Oh man, some of the new kids' books, they're kind of dumbing down though, which is sad. But that's too off topic. This is installing a update to my touchscreen firmware. Mainly the little icons. I changed all the icons in Photoshop to match what I've done on the old MKS mainboards, or the TFTs. And it takes it a little while. Updating 81%. So, wow, an hour goes by so fast. I'm not even gonna get to the, well, while that does that, I guess I could start installing this stuff.
I mean, we could set up another one for next week on Monday.
Yeah, we could finish this off on Monday.
Monday.
Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. Well,
Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I can, let's see, which way can I swing this without unplugging it? Get these screws installed. So welcome to the Livestream Struggle Bus version 2.
It's all right, I zoomed in just in time to watch you struggle.
Yes. All right, so ball screw time. Ooh. Yes, you're on camera too. These things are great. They're 1204 ball screws I got from ZYL Tech. They're pretty awesome. I like them. I just need to get, well, slide that guy in. Oh, okay. My screwdriver go. I threw it over here, obviously. I'm all over the place today. Nope. Nope. What size is that?
Rich says, I've successfully used a LE, okay, is that potato SBC?
LE potato SPC.
It's like POTATOE, that's potato, right? I feel like
Yeah.
some of you were
Oh, it's done. All right.
to run Octoprint. Not sure if I can run Clipper though.
Like an actual potato computer. I've never tinkered around with Octoprint. I've thought about it. One of those things I've never gotten to. One of these days I will, I'm sure. And all right, that's gonna sit like that for now. And we're gonna get a couple of these screws in it.
I swear some of the words you all have in this 3D printer world, you're just messing with me.
Yes, it's all a big ruse, right?
It is.
It's a conspiracy just to confuse my producer wife.
If you can put Debian Linux, you can host Clipper, says Nicholas.
Okay. Well, I don't know, I'd have to find well, I guess do a dual boot on my laptop or something. I don't know. Maybe in the future. All right, that is there. Ah.
Glenn Brown says, I think he probably means a really low-powered single-board computer.
Low-powered? No, I'm like, how about more power?
Monte says, you should try Octoprint. You'll like it. I didn't know anything about 3D printers or Octoprint. Went straight to it, and it's so nice to use.
So what makes it so much better? Like, since I've not done that much research on it.
Okay, and seriously, I think B-Roll's just messing with us. He says, single board computer. There's a banana pie, too. So we're talking about raspberry pie, orange pie, banana pie.
Banana pie?
What other kind of flavors can we get?
Apple pie. Pecan pie.
They call those iPhones.
Yeah, that is true. And I would not want to put an iPhone in my 3D printer, because it would make me get off the freeway just to get right back on again to pass one car. Siri.
True story. It happened.
That happened. Boy, did we feel like jerks. 1 minute. Well, I guess you could just let it continue until you get home. Continue on camera one here. She's got to go pick up our youngin' from daycare. Oh. All right. That wouldn't fit, would it? Okay.
Nicholas says, Octoprint is nice. It removes the SD card. You can use a webcam and upload files straight from your slicer.
Oh, wow. Like, I mean, it's kind of like using Cura to go directly, to print directly to your printer.
And B-Roll says, they're speaking truth. Look them up.
Look them up.
Looking things up ruins my conspiracies, though.
Yeah, it's best to be a little bit... Is that in there? These you just kind of hand tighten, and it pinches the bearing. And we'll hold this screw up and keep it from jiggling around. These threads are mighty snug, though. Or it's also pressing this bearing down on. The rod here. I think we're there. Are we there? Yeah, we're there. Maybe. Nope, it's going more. Okay. That is tight. So my producer wife she's heading out to pick up a child, so I cannot read or see her comments, but I will check them out just as soon as I'm done with this part. You know what? I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Yeah, switch it around here. Just pop up. Yeah. These bearings are a really snug fit on here. Socket. And yeah, that's not gonna work. Not as good as I wanted. Yeah, no. That's a little bit too harsh on it. We're gonna have to do it the hard way. Oh. There. All right. Spacers. It's amazing to set aside an hour, or I guess just under an hour. We had some technical difficulties. But you set aside a little bit of time to do this, and you think, oh, an hour, no problem. I'll be bored after 30 minutes because I won't know what to do because I'll be done. No. Silly me. That's not how that worked. That's not going to go on there very well, is it? It is. Well, I don't have a wrench or anything to tighten that down, do I? Well, while we're here, I could just make sure my X and Y axis moves in the correct direction. Menu, movement, move. We're not going to try to home. 10 millimeters, let's see. Oh, yep, they're backwards. That's correct. Interesting. No, that's correct. I just have my arrows flip-flopped on here. That's what I did. This is the UI for a Core XY machine. So the Y-axis arrows are flip-flopped, but the movement is still the correct direction. I'll just have to flip those icons around later. No big deal. So, well, I guess that just about ends it, because I can't really go any further without a wrench to tighten that nut down, and I don't think I have. Ooh, I wonder. There's no way that's gonna fit. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, nope. This is gonna have to be tightened down super tight because it's got to press that bearing down on the shaft here. And yeah, it's a kind of a snug press fit. So I guess I could finish this on Monday for another edition of the EP3D Struggle Bus. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. In fact, let me see what's going on. See who's in the chat. Oh boy. Now I'm behind the producer's chair here. Let's see. Octoprint, boo boo boo. Speaking the truth, locked them up. No thumbnail. Spent 5 hours building a Voron 2-frame all day. That would be fun. I would love to build a Voron one day. It'll happen, just not today. Yeah, definitely with that printer, never 30 minutes. That is a true statement. Everything takes longer than 30 minutes. Le Potato, oh, it's French. It's a computer, just like the Pi made by Libre Computer. It's similar to Orange Pi and the others. Oh, nice. Looked it up, found it. Oh, yes, you will know the frame is square. So actually, let's see if I can zoom in here. I'll show you guys something that is rather frustrating about this machine here. I'm going to zoom in on this camera. tighten that up. Okay, switch cameras. All right, so when I got this machine, it did not enjoy going up past about 2/3 of the way up. And if you could see the extrusions here, they taper. So they're like 3 or 4 millimeters narrower at the top. It's like they use the end of the extrusion out of the machine to do it. And so like you could see there's a gap here. Let me get my phone light. There's a gap between the rail and the edge of the extrusion. And that's not because the rail is bent, it's because the extrusion tapers up, which understandably would be why it wouldn't want to go up very high with the original roller wheel gantry setup. So that's one reason why I was going to this linear rail setup. Well, I was going to the linear rails because I wanted smoother motion, and I didn't realize that they were all tapered and bent like that until I was putting this together and realized, like, hey, oh, that's probably really bright in your face. Hey, why is there a gap here? This rail isn't bent, it's perfectly straight. And then I measured it with a caliper, and yeah, they're like 36.5 millimeters wide at the top. Yeah, so actually I got my, where's my caliper at? I put it somewhere. I'll measure it. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it's at. So that is super frustrating. And that's another reason why I'm going to completely redo the upper part of the frame with some 40/40 extrusions and change up the rail system and my parts here. I've had a lot of people ask, let me zoom out on this camera. Actually, I'll switch. Bam. Okay. I've had quite a few people ask about the STL files for my mod here, my conversion to the linear rail for the Z-axis. I've not shared those yet because it takes pretty significant modification mechanically. Like I had to machine this gantry down for it to all fit right because it kind of squeezes it all together. So I'm redesigning it to make it work on basically any machine, no matter what the tolerance is, with some slotted holes for the screws and stuff like that. So for those that may have asked me in the past if I could share the STL files for these parts, not yet. I don't want you to put it on your machine and then cause serious issues, because it can with these linear rails. If you squeeze it and cant it one way or the other, it could jam it pretty hard, and you don't want to do that. That breaks things. So, but yeah. I guess that does it for today. Sorry I didn't get done, and sorry about the delay earlier, and sorry about all the struggle bussing. I'll go back here and read some more comments, see if anybody's commented here. Oh, where are we at? Let's see. It's been nice to meet you all. To some, yeah, I need to close. Yeah, close to me, or vice versa. Could use a helping hand. I pay in printer parts, like a new Pico board that is designed for a Pi board to run Clipper. Oh, you've lost audio. You shouldn't have lost audio. Audio's running. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to end it. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. And thank you for the conversation that we've had. Sorry that my producer wife had to leave. Hopefully we'll get better at this as time goes on, which we will. We'll get better. And my presentation should get better, too. So thanks again for hanging out. If you liked this and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Ethereal Project 3D. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, and happy 3D printing, and I'll see you in the next one.